time is a mystery, or is it? If we're talking about time absolute, we're simply looking at the causal chains of phenomena, causes and effects, branching into new causes and effects, a tree of causation, interconnected causes and effects in a matrix of our reality. Time in itself is neutral in the objective. However, subjective time is inherently relative to the subject, obviously, and the subject's experience and evaluation of experience, right? As in the reactivity of the subject, the positive and negative evaluations that we come up with due to our conditioning, our attachments, our aversions that push and pull us in particular directions away from particular other directions, right? This push and pull appears to slow down or to speed up the essentially neutral chains of causation that we travel along with, interacting with this reality. Something that I enjoy, something that I hope for, that I engage in, a pleasant activity, I am entirely immersed in. The pull is strong, as if I am being pulled through time at a high velocity. Something else, suppose I am handling some tedious chores, or I am, for example, sitting down for a meditation, taming the mind in its initial phases of wild and untamed terrain. In there, sometimes time can be excruciatingly slow, right? Now it's important to know the underlying factor that causes the dilation of subjective time are attachment and our aversion, right? And this is what leads to the slippage of time. Time for things that are perhaps important is not allocated. The imperative is even lost and forgotten while we are being driven and pulled through a tunnel of time with our attachment and our craving for enjoyment as the fuel. Now this fundamental dynamic obviously impacts our ability for time management, really. When our time management is conditioned by preferences, then the order of priorities is diluted. And when we engage with the world habitually, as if driven by a certain momentum of habit energy, for certain things that are not enjoyable, by the force of habit, are relegated to an inferior position, lower on the list of priorities. This priorization, depriorization, combined with the time dilation of enjoyable things, running faster, consuming apparently much more time beyond what we anticipated. This can significantly compromise our engagement with the things that matter. Now suppose an example in here, we are taking the initial steps on the path of introspection, meditation, self-reflection, something that we are not habituated to yet. There is a certain unpleasantness in there, in part, yes, because there is some gritty and scattered material in here that needs to be tamed, and in here that is yet to be settled. Okay, there is a certain inherent grind to the initial phases. However, objectively, it is nowhere near as bad as what your conditioned mind makes it be. You are making it worse by your lack of affinity with the practice. Now, this threshold will be crossed simply by the building of new habits when your mind is actually just accustomed to engaging in a particular activity. Then it is much less likely to seek diversions. However, if we wing it, any new activity, we have no routine, we have no established frame for it, it is all the more so difficult, ever so difficult, and it seems to never happen. Time slips away, slips with the pulls of our habitual attachments, our habitual enjoyments. We are funneled into directions that we are accustomed to, and we are torn away, as it were, from the things that we perhaps should spend more time in. So in here the key is the generation of new habits and the stabilization of new habits by means of overcoming the initial threshold of preference. Do I want it? Do I want it not? Well, initially, yeah, probably, maybe not, because it's not your habit. Build new habits. Get over the threshold of habitual preference. Get over the threshold of instant stimulation, instant gratification, and you will see that in time your mind will begin to settle, will begin to establish itself into a particular meditative, contemplative practice. And from there, over time, it gets easier, and it gets easier, easier still, simply by rewiring your brain. There is a certain, even biologically, neurobiology, etc. There is a certain drive-in period for new neural circuits. You are transforming your brain's biological wiring. You are weaning yourself from certain flavors of brain chemistry. You are establishing a more stable, perhaps more equanimous state, in which you will find it easier to establish priorities objectively and engage in things that matter accordingly without being compromised by the pushings and pullings that drive you in directions that you are accustomed to. It's a practice, it's a process, but it is a process worth engaging in, and it is something to cultivate in order to break free from the shackles of your conditioning, in order to shatter the templates of your mind that bind you into a particular state of existence. It's a necessary passage in the process, and the sooner we tackle it, the sooner we overcome the constraints that only we hold on to, the sooner we will be able to enter into deeper, more satisfying, more fulfilling, more wholesome states of experience and existence. Alright, so watch out for the slippage of time born from your habitual attachments and aversions. Get on top of reality, be the master, not the slave of the causal mesh that you're in. Okay? So that's there.